speaking of the Devils here, we do have our first match going to be underway very shortly, but let's bring them out onto the stage. First match is going to be RAPHA versus DRAMIS. First match of the day, plenty more to come, but we're going to see how things are going to go in terms of predictions. Now, you've already said you've had a bit of favoritism for RAPHA, and you've said how DRAMIS does have that, you know, the spanner in the works, the diamond in the rough, so to speak, in terms of like taking some of these, the flair on the odd occasion. You know, it's, I think if there's a good time to do it, first match of the day is probably the best time.
That would be a great start, and DRAMIS is obviously one of our top competitors, gunning for the railgun trophy as well.
Yep.
As it's his favorite weapon, so I'm very curious about what the picks and bans will eventually look like for him.
Yes, we will have the picks and bans, which will be very shortly. It will be a live pick ban as well. And it's going to be another thing, because if people are not too sure about in terms of the map pool, obviously it's a little bit different compared to what we have in the Quake Pro League. We have, of course, Exile and Crucible in the mix. And I believe in terms of Crucible in an offline environment, this is the first time we're going to witness Crucible offline.
Or competitively, I think. I don't think there have been many events even online with Crucible on. And we've seen it quite a bit yesterday, and it's a pretty entertaining map to spectate. So I hope it's gonna get picked a lot, as well as Exile. Exile spectating is really, really entertaining as well, because you always get that sync error frag here and there, so it's a joy to watch.
It certainly is, yeah. We have missed them, but we have brought it back. And I quite enjoy Exile, in all fairness. It was always a good map to watch. We know players like Maxter, who is very good on Exile once upon a time. And he actually did a good example of that, where there was only a few minutes left remaining back in the group stages against, I believe it was Zeniku, I want to say.
Yes.
And it was down 7-4, and he only had like 2.5 minutes left and brought it back 8-7 or something.
Yeah, they went to the third map, I believe. I think Zeniku actually took down Crucible from Maxter, and then in the Exile it was an amazing comeback by Maxter. We casted that game, didn't we? We casted that game on Chef Tastic.
I think you might have done it on the Spanish stream.
I think you're right, actually. I think I did do it, because I did cast a few games yesterday.
Unless I can talk in Spanish now.
Possibly.
No.
Can you say Rocketazo?
Rocketazo.
That's Kirk would be sad at you right now.
I know. Sorry, Kirk, mate. I did my best, but I failed miserably. I'm lucky to talk English. Well, even my English is broken English, which is that's as much as I'm going to say so far. But yeah, we will be going to the pick ban phase very shortly. We're just getting the players to get ready to get set up and get going, which they will do momentarily. But this is going to be the first time if we actually do witness Crucible in an offline environment on stream. And we'll see it, I'm sure, with the 3 streams going, we will witness Crucible at some stage. And just to let you guys know, if we missed it earlier, this isn't the only stream you can view. We do have the Shaftastic stream, which is the second stream, and we have Maxter Quake, which is the Spanish stream, which you guys can catch up on all the action, which you may be missing out as well, because we're going to try and cover all the matches if we can. Any ideas to what we expect in terms of who's going to be banning what at the very get-go?
I would usually expect RAPHA to ban Ruins. It seems like that's his most banned map. But I want to see DRAMIS with a weird pick, like just picking Exile or Crucible right off the bat.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Of course, with Ruins, it's going to be an interesting market itself. I think back in the QPL, he banned Ruins almost every single time. It's like Kilson with Veil. He literally banned Veil every single time. So it's definitely a map everyone knows he's been banning on a regular basis.
This
but
time,
we're
though,
witnessing it now.
He actually banned Crucible instead. And DRAMIS takes the opportunity to actually pick Ruins against RAPHA. So not banning that map, we'll see. That might be 1 point in favor for DRAMIS there. So Blood Covenant to start, then Ruins, RAPHA banning Awoken, and DRAMIS will each choose to ban Exile, and there it is. Sadly, we're not going to see Exile or Crucible just yet. It's going to be Blood Covenant, Sarnath, and then Deep Embrace. All 3 very rail-heavy maps, so it's pretty good for DRAMIS. And you can see the players. This pick and ban is going really fast, because the players only have 20 seconds to pick any champion, and they're just not wasting any time.
Speedrun any % on the champion and map picks. But I suppose for RAPHA, it's a kind of pick your poison kind of method, really. It's either, do I go with my one of my least played maps, or do I go with a map which I'm not too familiar with in a highly competitive environment.
These are really good picks by RAPHA. He instantly banned Slash from DRAMIS, and then he picked Stroke, so both of the crouch sliders are not going to be played by DRAMIS, which is great for RAPHA. So far it's very balanced. I'd say the maps favor DRAMIS a little bit, but the champions definitely favor RAPHA.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just still checking at the moment. Of course, we do have the Athena versus the Anarchy to start things off on Blood Covenant, and then we've got Strog versus Ranger on Ruins. You'd expect that exact champion matchup on Quantic Keep, but we're going to have it on the Ruins anyways. And yeah,
Keel versus DK?
Well, I have seen Keel rarely on Deep Embrace, but this was like once upon a time. This is like before he got nerfed.
Has been spamming Keel, and it's not like Keel is a very powerful champion, but I think Maxer playing it a lot is kind of making other pros aware of its power. I'm surprised to see DRAMIS play it though, because usually we only see like DRAMIS play high mobility champions, and Keel is kind of the opposite of that. But it should be entertaining. I want to see what he has in the bag.
You could say as well, RAPHA had that plan underneath his sleeve, because he did ban the Doomslayer. So he also planned in the Death Knight to so that the fact that if, of course, DRAMIS did try to pick the Doomslayer, then he can't use the Flame Strike Rocket combo anytime. But
yeah, by the time,
he didn't plan that anyway, went for the kill.
By the time Deep Embrace came, there were like no more mobility champions left, so DRAMIS just went with the highest burst damage champion that was still left.
Yeah, I do see like a light at the end of the tunnel for DRAMIS. I do agree with the fact that with the map picks, it does give him a bit of leeway going forward. Seeing RAPHA ban Awoken doesn't really surprise me too much. DRAMIS is keeping well away from Exile, and I know RAPHA's not his strongest Exile. It's not saying he's been too keen on, but it's probably just banned it for him anyway. But with Deep Embracer, yeah, a kill pick. I've not seen that pick in a very long time. We've actually seen a lot of kill on Quantic Keep. We saw it at QuakeCon. It looks like the trend's just going to continue.
It's mostly Maxter spamming Keel every opportunity he gets.
Yeah,
he just wants to play Keel. And every time I tell him his stats on Keel aren't that good, he just sometimes wins a game and he shoves it up my face.
So in other words, like every time you shove it down his throat, he just wins it straight afterwards.
Yeah. So I'm not going to talk about him playing Keel anymore.
Because you're basically like, not superstitious, but like in a way where, you know, every time you mention it, he just wins. So maybe you just need to say to him to stop playing Keel every time, and then he'll just win every time.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But the first map is going to be on Blood Covenant. Is going to be Athena versus the Anarchy pick. This is kind of what we expected from the get-go. Anyway, we know how strong RAPHA is on Blood Covenant and how this could go. We have to see how DRAMIS is going to play this out, as we'll be starting momentarily. But now that you've seen the map picks and that, prediction-wise, I'd probably say it would be rude to not say a 2-0. Like, I think he'll probably take Blood Covenant. Ruins, it's really situational, depending on how DRAMIS is going to play. It will give me a good indicator on how DRAMIS plays. If he keeps the matchup close on Blood Covenant, then I can see him maybe take it to a map number 3. But it's like I said before, I kind of feel like anyone who's at a very high level, you need to take him down very early on in the day before they start getting warmed up.
Exactly. Yeah. I think DRAMIS has a good chance of taking a map. I'm going to say 2-1 to RAPHA.
You've been very generous this morning, mate.
I slept well.
You slept well? Did you?
I slept really well.
Are you sure?
Yes, I was in bed by 10 p.m., ready to cast the whole day of Quake.
So are you trying to say every single day apart from today you don't normally sleep well?
No, I actually sleep well every day.
Oh.
I don't know, must be the KeenCon vibe.
It might be. Well, yeah, maybe it's just me who don't sleep well, I don't know. Mate, I woke up super early for this. I don't know why. I woke up pumped at like 4:30 this morning.
You know, DRAMIS said he did that as well in defense. Apparently all 4 of us woke up around that same time.
What, 4:30?
Yeah.
Because we can't blame jet lag, can we? Well, he can, but we can't.
Yeah, I think there was maybe some sound in the hotel, so we all woke up at the same time.
Oh, maybe I just heard cars driving past. I don't know. It just seems really odd that everyone just woke up at 4:30.
Yeah. Everyone is just excited to get started in KeenCon.
Probably. Or maybe you just made a load of noise or something.
I didn't do anything.
Are you sure? It's a bit of a coincidence, though.
No.
No, okay. Oh, just double checking, because it wouldn't surprise me if you had just been annoying at 4:30 in the morning.
I was just peacefully sleeping.
Absolutely gobsmacked. See, you know, at KeenCon we're full of surprises. Inta's already surprised me straight away with that little outburst. But we're just waiting for the game to get underway shortly. We're a little bit of trouble, but we're going to go into Blood Covenant momentarily, as we do have DRAMIS versus RAPHA coming up very shortly. Slash was banned, will be the Athena versus the Anarchy. Second map, the Nyx was banned by DRAMIS, and RAPHA will be playing the Strog, and DRAMIS will be playing the Ranger. If we do go to a third and final map, which is definitely possible, RAPHA did ban the Doom, and it will be the kill from DRAMIS and the Death Knight from RAPHA. But enough talking nonsense from us. Let's get straight into the game and get locked and loaded. First match here at KeenCon 2023, and we can be kicking things off from RAPHA's perspective.
Oh, and it's a good start for RAPHA. In this matchup, RAPHA will be trying to mostly utilize the HMG versus DRAMIS Athena, which DRAMIS will be trying to hit him with as many rails as they can, and they both get the spawn they kind of want. RAPHA sadly does not get the HMG, it's a small MG, but you can see RAPHA already trying to close the distance, and DRAMIS, this is what he's going to be trying to do, just keep his distance, try to go for the rails, try to hit some shots. Sadly, he's only been able to hit one so far, but nothing too crazy yet has happened.
Yeah, nothing... Not too much madness, so to speak, here. A bit of chaos now finally occurring. A little bit of damage done, but does get it well, but it's a bit of damage as well, but as you saw there, it does pick up the heavy, but RAPHA looking to be quite aggressive. He's going to mess around the sound cues a little bit, see if he can get...
That's great movement by RAPHA. Manages to steal the rail when DRAMIS goes for the Mega, and now he can actually combat at long range. I wonder if he'll keep trying to out-rail DRAMIS, or if he'll actually, as usual, try to spam out that HMG to put pressure on DRAMIS. So far, DRAMIS just controlling the pace, very well positioned, trying to go for as many angles, not quite so hot on the accuracy, but if he starts hitting a couple, since they're playing light versus light, any rail will be super important.
Speaking of rail, that first shot is going to be crucial there for RAPHA, just still biding his time at the moment, just trying to get their superiority.
And DRAMIS has to start hitting some shots, or he will not be eligible for that railgun trophy.
That is true. Don't tell him that though, because then he's going to start panicking.
I don't think DRAMIS has the capability to panic. He's just super chill all the time.
He is, isn't he? He's one of the chillest guys around. Actually saying that, there's actually quite a few of them, but RAPHA, though, good little rail from him, just keeping the stack low. Oh, nice little rail as he's trying to
and he falls back down.
Zoom back up, and yeah, this is back away again. Hopefully the light will be underneath, which it does fine, but does catch him off guard with the LG. Hits a great, yeah.
The rocket just saved DRAMIS' life there, because RAPHA was ready to completely overcommit, and even had his injection ready if anything went wrong. But the rocket in the face just stops him in his tracks at RAPHA. 10 seconds later, he's ready to go again. Rocket jump up. There's the Mega pickup for DRAMIS, but RAPHA gets the kill and gets items right after, so everything is fine for him. Good spawn by DRAMIS. Already has the railgun again, but once again, not really landing the shots just yet. He's been going for every angle, but he hasn't really been hitting much. There is one. One more would actually kill RAPHA. Not anymore. Oh, where is he flying?
Yeah, because he's basically going to a dead end. I think he's just trying to... Well, I'm not too sure what's his... I was going to say what his thought process was. It's early.
It's early. It's early.
3 minutes in, though, as RAPHA does have that stack advantage, just switching back over to DRAMIS to see exactly what mischief he's up to. He's just biding his time for now. Mega's up in 15. Both items are actually almost in sync, just about a second and a half apart. But it does get the rail in hand. Still needs to find the rockets in the LG.
Oh, he's having more luck with the tribal. Very good tribal damage. Not really hitting the rails, but if the tribal does the job, might as well use it. I gotta say, I love the UI that we have of both players' cams being on at the same time. I think that's great.
Yeah, it's a nice little touch, which we haven't seen before. It comes up the LG, but you can see Jam's still got that shoe stack advantage. RAPHA's going to be backing away
I didn't even know that was an angle. And sadly, he missed it again, but he's going for all the right angles. As soon as he starts landing a couple of shots, I think the game will get flipped on its head.
Won't be too much of a surprise here. Jamis now just biding his time, just waiting for that heavy. Just on the lurk for now. You can see that RAPHA just walking around, just trying to find out exactly where he is. He's going to have a bit of information now from that tri-bolt. He's actually directly underneath him, but he's going to try and catch him off guard with that hook. Doesn't really get any damage done. Both players don't really get much damage done either. But a rail is going to be huge there from RAPHA, as now Jamis just going to try to back away a little bit. Both of them have been inaccurate here and there, but nearly approaching the halfway stage as the heavy's been picked up by DRAMIS once again.
Yeah, we really need to see DRAMIS hit just at least one rail every 30 seconds or something just to get back into the game. There's one rail. Can he start hitting some more? Oh, there's another. DRAMIS, he smells an opportunity. He's going in, he hits one more rail. One more would actually get the kill on RAPHA, but he falls down. RAPHA escapes.
Yeah, and he had no more hooks left either. As he's just gonna rotate. That's fine, didn't know. Stacks, obviously, the rocket's gonna change that a little bit on 56 HP.
Great movement by
Picks up the
DRAMIS.
heavy.
Stuff went a little bit wrong there, but the hook completely saved him. And he's ready to go. And maybe Israel is now warmed up as we see him hit more and more shots.
RAPHA running in, whipping out the shot. He does catch him in the rail. DRAMIS isn't running out of time as of yet. It's still only a 2-0 lead. And of course, you've got to remember with that mobility of the hooks to kind of solidify some of his frags. He's still got plenty of time to try and make it work, but he would have better finish with the rockets. No, he will not. So RAPHA will take him down with the LG. 3-0 now. As we mentioned earlier, just past that halfway stage here, but we will be seeing some over-aggression from DRAMIS shortly, I'm sure.
Yeah, RAPHA, I think it's the second time he's got him on that lower light. He managed to get the kill with the injection, and now catching him pretty much off spawn. DRAMIS uses the hook, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get away from RAPHA as he gets his 4th kill.
Certainly does. Running low on the LG department as he literally to try and make that little push, but that was an important rail from DRAMIS to keep himself in this, and he does repeat. DRAMIS does take him down, and finally gets that first frag on the board. Would it be the first of many? That's going to be the next question.
We'll see. In Blood Covenant, if you're Athena, you can control the rail from your opponent, especially versus a light as Anarchy. One rail on Anarchy, and he can't do anything anymore, especially as Anarchy. For playing versus a champion who has a lot of verticality, it's really hard to get to high ground again. So RAPHA will likely try to play a little bit more defensive, probably a little bit more machine gun heavy, while DRAMIS will be trying to protect the rail, which does not seem like he did a great job there, but he does land a rail at least.
Something's better than nothing, but it looks like DRAMIS is still going to be poking on inbound.
So
there's
aggressive.
so much LG. Yeah, this is going to be curtains for DRAMIS. RAPHA does take him down with that heavy machine gun to finish things off. Now 3 minutes left, 4 frags. Deficit for DRAMIS to try and claw his way back from. Have to see what he can do, but that rocket's not going to help the second. Definitely didn't do herself justice for him either, as now it's 6-1 with 3 minutes left remaining.
Yeah, a little bit too aggressive there on the Mega by DRAMIS. I think he was expecting to hit a bit more than he did, and his rockets were dodged by RAPHA. So RAPHA's back on the driver's seat, and with 3 minutes to go, DRAMIS needs to get, again, the rail and hit a couple of shots, and there's one. One more would actually get the kill. Not anymore. Let's see what DRAMIS can do in the last 2.5 minutes. RAPHA just playing it safe, controlling the map and the high ground.
Gets a little bit done, don't get me wrong, but it's chucking out time soon on this map. Is have to see what he can do to try and put some added pressure, and obviously with that over-aggression, which we definitely going to be requiring, but RAPHA's expecting that, just waiting for him to play his cards right, but again, another frag added to the name of RAPHA. 7-1. This is a good start for him this weekend.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the morning. It's the best time to take off the favorites, but RAPHA showing he had a perfectly good night's sleep, and he's ready to take on any challengers.
And he's going to be picking up the heavy. Even then, though, definitely too little too late here. Only 90 seconds left remaining. He would have to get him on spawn every single death, and he'll have to literally have the cleanest frags possible. And against someone like RAPHA, that's going to be very highly unlikely, as he's going to try and get away. At least he'll be able to delay things a little bit further before he gets his second frag. Might not even get the second frag.
I think what he needs now is to get more accuracy on his railgun. So he needs to go for shots and hit them. That is the key. He's obviously not going to win this game, but he keeps landing a lot of the shots. It's too bad these... Oh, wow, another one. It's too bad these shots didn't come on earlier in the game.
1 minute warning.
He did have one spur of a moment where he was hitting a couple of shots, but that was like right at the very beginning. But apart from that, yeah. If he saw something like this a little bit later on towards this map, maybe it's because he's like a little bit more warmed up now, a little bit more comfortable. It is what it is. 45 seconds left remaining as this map's pretty much done and dusted. So we'll be going to that second map very shortly, which will be on Ruins. As He's still trying to get a little bit more done, but RAPHA's just going to retaliate with Derail of his own.
Imagine how demoralizing it would be for everyone else if RAPHA actually gets all the 3 trophies.
That'd be sickening.
That would be sick, because I don't think it's a possibility for people to think that, oh, RAPHA might actually just get the LG and the Rail trophy, but RAPHA's been hitting everything. He hasn't really been using LG, but his Rails have been on.
They really have been indeed. 10-1, it's definitely an early riser, isn't he? There's not really too much moments where he'll have a day off, as you can see. 10-1 in that first map in this series, and kind of what we expected. We know how good he can be on Blood Covenant.
Yes.
DRAMIS was looking okay at the start. There was a couple of moments he could have brought it back, but yeah, in the end, there's some questionable decisions as well, I think we have to agree on as well, with some of those things, but he's just trying to add a little bit of flair, which just didn't work out for him.
More than bad decisions, I think it was his accuracy at the start. Like, he finished with 53% rail, even higher than RAPHA, finished with 50%, but his rails at the start, until like 7 minutes, he was probably hitting like 7%. If he had hit some of those finishing rails right at the start, I think this game would have been a lot closer and possibly a win for DRAMIS, but sadly for him, it was not the case. RAPHA played pretty much perfect. As we're looking through the highlight reel, which is pretty much RAPHA only.
Yeah, well, we'll probably set up one frag at some point, but that's literally, it will be the RAPHA show here to start things off in this replay of the first map. But going into the second one, though, it's going to be on Ruins. It is going to be Strog versus Ranger. A champion matchup, which you'd normally expect on Corrupted Keep, but we're going to be finding it on Ruins. Now, for DRAMIS, he has the opportunity to tie things up, just due to the fact that, you know, during the Quake Pro League, banned almost every single time without fail. Every single time. There's, I think maybe only 1 or 2 times it wasn't banned straight away, but apart from that, that was literally about it. So, not saying he's not very experienced on that map, but because of the fact that he hasn't really been playing at a high level that often, it might give DRAMIS room to make a comeback. Yeah,
it's funny because when I was asking RAPHA last week and what map he will ban here and there, he'll say, oh, I don't know, he was making it seem like as he was going to ban other maps, but he would always end up banning Ruins.
He's just basically teasing you.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's not completely intentional that he always ends up banning Ruins, but he always thinks that seems to be the best choice. So I think if DRAMIS is to win a map, this is going to be the map.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense as well. As we'll be underway with the second map very shortly, we're just waiting for the players to get themselves ready up after that first game, but it's a very solid start from RAPHA. We was actually talking yesterday in terms of like who we think has been looking in, not prime position just to win the event, but just been looking solid overall. And, you know, RAPHA's been looking pretty good. I think there was only a moment where he went into a sudden death against Vodkax on Exile. Apart from that, though, you know, over the course of time, he's one of those players where, as each day progresses, he just gets better and better. So if you don't catch him, you know, with his trousers down on a Friday, yeah, it's pretty much a done deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's RAPHA. There's not much more to say. You just say his nickname. The guy won a Lifetime eSports Award a couple of weeks ago. Just shows how much of a legend he is.
That is true, that is true. And yeah, it's just his trophy cabinet. You have to buy another cabinet at some point, won't he? Absolutely unreal.
A few.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has a couple of rooms just for his trophies.
What, just like a trophy room?
He might. I mean, with all the tournaments that he's won and how long he's been playing for, I would definitely invest in a trophy room if I were him.
Yeah.
And he might leave KeenCon with 3 more.
Do you have any?
I do, actually.
No.
I have a few trophies, yes.
Yeah.
I do.
Oh, is it like best player in an amateur tournament?
Sure. No, I have like some minor Quake trophies from local lands, also, you know, a couple of Overwatch ones and
it's
a couple
nice to
more.
have.
But let's go to the players that matter.
Absolutely. We will be going into Ruins now between RAPHA and DRAMIS. If you're just joining us, it's currently 1-0 in the series in favour of RAPHA, and we're going to find out exactly how things are going to occur in this matchup. Already very back and forth, but it's going to be DRAMIS who gets cleaned up as RAPHA gets the first initial frag.
I mean, that's a DRAMIS,
with the LG as well.
That's a DRAMIS play right off the bat, right? He goes for the rail. He knows that if he hits the combo with orb and rail, he gets the kill. He hits the orb, but sadly he missed the rail. Let's see if he can make it up, because RAPHA is still not looking too hot on his stack. So DRAMIS is going to be stealing away that heavy army. Comes up the jump pad, and he gets brought back down. He can still get the kill, and there it is. He ties up the game, and now it's up to DRAMIS to control the map. Not much stack to his name, though. Is RAPHA going to push right now? Ooh, that was almost scary there.
But DRAMIS didn't have any rockets to really cover that choke point on that T-junction either. So it would have been a risk potentially worth taking. As he goes for that rail, and look at the items as well, so heavily out of sync as Yazzie steals away with the heavy, but will he be able to take it down afterwards? No, he does not. LG was just a little bit sloppy towards the end, where DRAMIS was able to finish off the rockets, but RAPHA just comes in with the machine gun straight away, tie things up now, 2 apiece, and now DRAMIS is doing the exact same thing with his version of the machine gun, takes the Mega straight away, but this is so important, it's so crucial at the very beginning of this map, because of the items both being so out of sync. Whoever's going to get full control could have full control for a good few minutes, even possible for the majority of the game.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like any of these players are willing to give up any of the items, as we see a complete brawl. 4 frags in under 2 minutes, and there they are. Yet another fight that should end up in a frag, and RAPHA clutches it out once again. 3-2 for the American. Well, the American from Team Liquid.
Yeah, I was going to say they're both American.
Yeah.
They could be. As right now, RAPHA's got him pinned down. Near that jump pad, there's only going to be so much he can do, but DRAMIS didn't do too bad with the amount of damage he was doing, considering the height advantage RAPHA had and obviously the weapons in his arsenal.
Oh, RAPHA might lose out on the heavy, but he decides to go for the kill. He knows exactly where DRAMIS is. Just great awareness all around. Deciding, I'll go for the heavy after I get this kill. And now he's in control of the whole map, has a good stack, has a control on weapons, and DRAMIS forced to use the warp to try and get away. Oh, he did some good damage on RAPHA. Let's see if he can actually get out of this situation. He will need another amazing rocket, and it doesn't seem like he is being capable of handling it, because RAPHA is everywhere.
He certainly is. The 96 from that last rocket was not doing DRAMIS any favours at all. 5-2 already this early on. The fact we've got 7 frags already, they've been at each other's throats from the very beginning on spawn. So he's just trying to follow suit, hits the first rail, trying to go for the second, but as you can see, he's looking a little bit better now, looking for another.
Rail for a rail,
24
but
HP.
RAPHA has a much higher stack, so these rail trades do not favor DRAMIS right now. Because after this, it's RAPHA the one picking up the major item, and DRAMIS is left licking his wounds on the scariest, darkest corner of the map, waiting for a light armor to finally spawn and give him some leeway.
But look at the stack difference now, and that first rail from RAPHA
from the top. It's so unexpected.
It's not going to do him any favours here. It's just going to be a matter of time. Oh, it does get away, but how long for? The good thing about that orb is at least he managed to fit another rail in. To at least
if he hadn't landed the rail, that would have been a complete waste. But he landed the rail, so maybe he can delay enough time to get the heavy after. Oh, RAPHA almost ran out of ammo, and good thing he switched the weapon just in time. There's a potential here for DRAMIS to get one of the major items, and he is able to get the Mega. So not that bad, but 5 frags behind already versus a champion with a movement advantage. It's not going to be easy.
That's exactly what I'm going to pick up on as well. The mobility factor on RAPHA so it's not going to help, but he does have the orb, so we'll have to see what happens later on. Only left on 5 HP. Looking
machine gun? Oh, no need. Just hit the rail.
We'll just do it with the rail. Make him go on negative 85, why not?
I wonder now if RAPHA is going to try to play a little bit safer because he has a mobility advantage, it's a pretty big map, or if he's just going to keep going pedal to the metal fight for every item. And knowing RAPHA, I think I know the answer, but let's see.
He does like being a little bit of a bully for items, so it does make sense, but we'll see how this goes. It's still way too early for him to play passive or play defensively at that certain point. Yeah, sure, he can waste time. With 4 frags, it is possible, but right now, DRAMIS hasn't really got a big enough stack to continue pursuing yet, as RAPHA's just waiting for him to make that first initial mistake. But
it's a good play by DRAMIS. He knows he still has enough time to get back to the Mega, and then he'll probably have to use the orb to catch RAPHA. Oh, there's RAPHA just cruising through. Oh no, he misses the jump.
It's like I said, it's first thing in the morning, it's fine. It's understandable, we can make these mistakes. Yeah, look at this stack from DRAMIS as well. And
that's a great rail.
We're going to be playing the standard heavy jump pad game where he's going to make the rotation as he sees fit or depend on the audio cues. And RAPHA, yeah, of course, he cannot challenge this in any way. He's now going to be going back around towards that Mega area. He's actually delayed the heavy quite heavily, so to speak. And the item control is very good from DRAMIS. It's just a matter of how and what he can do about it. Of course, he does have the orb to maybe try and catch him.
It's really hard,
but it is difficult on ruins.
RAPHA is not just standing in one place either, he keeps moving. He knows the timing of every item despite not being trying to go for them. He knows exactly where what DRAMIS' routes are, and DRAMIS being forced to rocket jump and potentially have to use the orb to actually get a kill. And RAPHA, he's not interested in making that kill clean. He knows he will eventually get fragged by DRAMIS, but he just wants to make DRAMIS work as hard as possible for that kill. Oh no, that's a great rocket, and DRAMIS forced to use the orb. Oh, he hits the peaker, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to get the Mega. The Mega is going to be RAPHA, and RAPHA gets given control after all of that, and we're sure that RAPHA is likely to get the next kill. There he is.
And then caught him, yeah, with his back turned once again. DRAMIS is probably thinking 50-50, I looked the wrong way, and then it all just went all pear-shaped straight afterwards. Very unfortunate. There's going to be 9-3 now to RAPHA with 3.5 minutes left remaining. Massive, massive stack. Yeah, he won't be playing passive. He'll be continuing that aggression and continue to pile on the pressure to add to that score feed here. And yeah, it just shows that one minor error can completely turn things around.
Yeah, DRAMIS started feeling the pressure of being behind, so he had to do more and more risky plays, and a risky 50-50 play ended up being a little bit too much for him. That's RAPHA. Can he get another kill? There we go, 10-3. And RAPHA looks good. We were talking about which players looked the better. And RAPHA, you know, he's always going to look good. Even in a day where he's making mistakes, he's a contestant to win any tournament.
I didn't expect anything less. And we've heard some craziness come from upstairs. I don't know if that was a massive upset, but with any upsets, anything like that, we'll keep you guys updated. Don't you worry about that. As yeah, things are going absolutely crazy here whilst we're trying to cast this game.
I wonder if
the side of the room.
I wonder if the chat heard that as well, but there's something, definitely something happening upstairs. Probably in one of the other streams.
Yeah, probably. And that's why we said to watch the other streams as well. Shartastic on their second stream, and on Max to Quake with the Spanish stream as well. But going back into this game, oh my goodness, these rockets, it's just going, well, we say the phrase bad to worse, yeah, the combos, 10 frag deficit, 2 minutes, this is already a done deal, and we're going to be seeing DRAMIS into the lower bracket. But
oh my
don't expect
God.
anything less.
Yeah, but I didn't expect RAPHA to be hitting such crazy rails either. He just keeps landing the shots. I'll tell you, I think RAPHA has a good chance of actually winning all 3 trophies if he keeps his aim as it is right now.
Bit greedy, isn't it?
A little bit, but it's RAPHA. You don't get to where he is by not being greedy.
Absolutely.
I think, I don't know, I'm not there.
Well, neither of us are. Gonna try and clean this up if he can. That last shotgun shot wasn't the best. I need to tickle him slightly, but it doesn't matter. You can see already from the scoreline that this is already a closed out series. But yeah. DRAMIS, it's a shame he wasn't too warmed up with his rail in that first map. It could have been seen as something a little bit different. But DRAMIS, we'll see how he does in that lower bracket. But he's got a very long road ahead of him.
Yeah, I mean, but it's always good if you go versus RAPHA first thing in the morning, because it wakes you up completely. Like, your brain is going to be fully functioning right after that. It might even give you a boost, because you're learning from the best.
That is true. Just on those heavy stairs, just going back the way he came.
I love that DRAMIS sometimes he doesn't even pick up rockets, but he sees a railgun ammo crate. Yep, I gotta go back for that.
Even if you're on like 15 rail ammo. He wasn't then, obviously, but I know what you mean. So we've got 25 seconds left remaining, just waiting for this map to close out, or the series to close out rather, as RAPHA's been looking extremely strong first thing in the morning here. And we'll have to see if he's going to continue his path of destruction in this upper bracket, because this upper bracket is going to be looking pretty brutal. And if I remember rightly, Venga's on the same side of the bracket as well.
Yeah. RAPHA just keeps hitting these rails. It's starting to get a little bit disgusting now.
It's like Max that picked up his mouse for like a map, hasn't it?
I think RAPHA right now can out-rail Maxer. He's hitting a lot. Let's see the accuracy. 48 versus 55. DRAMIS is still hitting more, but every rail that RAPHA hits, it just feels super important. And then we see the shaking of the hands by the 2 North American players.
That makes sense though, doesn't it? It's the shots that matter. Sometimes you have those dead shots where it doesn't really do much anyway, because they're just going to go out to default stack depending on which rotation or recovery rotation they're going to make. But sadly, we will be seeing DRAMIS in the lower bracket. It's not out yet. These are all just upper bracket games we're going to be continuing on forward so far. and we'll have to see how DRAMIS does later on, but we'll definitely keep you guys updated. If we're not streaming it, I'm sure Shaftastic or the Spanish stream over at Max to Quake will be casting those games later on. But from what we saw from that series is what we expected, what we predicted, and we thought nothing less.
Yeah, pretty much. You can never expect RAPHA not to win 2-0 because not many players can take a map off of RAPHA. DRAMIS tried his best, and sadly, I think his best chance it was actually right at the start of the Blood Covenant when he was going for all of the rail angles, but sadly not quite connecting with any. I think, as I said previously, if he actually had hit some of those, the game would have become much harder for RAPHA.
It certainly would have been. It gave him so much leeway and so much confidence of how this series is going to go. You kind of feel like as well, if you give your opponent a bit too much confidence here and there and have a flaky start here and there as well, it just makes them feel like anything's possible, and that's when they can go pretty crazy with their aim skill. I see that with a lot of players, and it's very difficult to contend with if you give him too much room to breathe.
Yeah, indeed, and I'm curious to see what we're gonna hear from RAPHA, if he has the same thoughts that we did in the game, or if he thinks anything differently. I was kind of excited to maybe see the last map, but it's too bad we didn't get to see it.
Yeah, bit of a shame that, wasn't it?
A bit. But I think in any game, any matchup where we see RAPHA, it's hard to get to that last map. It's always a struggle, and even if you get there, he will beat you anyway.
You just wanted to see the kill pick on Deep Embrace, didn't you? But we saw it so much in the Quake Pro League, like, once upon a time before it got nerfed.
It's never enough.
No, he's just greedy. It's what we've got to deal with. But anyway, moving on, we do have an interview on the floor to find out RAPHA's thoughts and to see what's up.
Yeah, hello. I have RAPHA right next to me. And RAPHA, how do you feel, like, how do you, are you happy with your start to the tournament? Do you feel well rested? How are you feeling today?
I feel pretty well rested. I think today is just going to be about just getting more warmed up and used to it. You definitely still have, even after all these years, like first game jitters going into like the playoffs day. And but overall, I'm really happy with how I played. Like mentally, I was timing really well, just kind of letting the game like slowly open up and just reading what DRAMIS was doing. And yeah, I just need to keep watching out for the players that I'll potentially play, like going into later into today, and then yeah, just trying to get in the best shape as I can from match to match. Hopefully, obviously, leading up to the finals.
So, as you mentioned, the finals, of course, the winning it all is your goal. But do you have a look also at the other two trophies?
The trophies, all three of them are really, really like cool. They're really sick. So. I just know myself, I'm probably not going to win the LG or the Rail trophy, but you never know.
Yeah, we'll see. And after those few questions, I'm going to send it back to the casters, Inza and Harry.